Hey everybody, woohoo! Fantastic news, of course, but has the market made the wrong call? We shall see. President Trump establishes a Bitcoin strategic reserve, and of course, there's the White House Crypto Summit tomorrow as well. Will we get some more news from there as well? Let us see. It's going to be interesting, but the market has done a sell the news because it's a little disappointed. But is it a mistake? And we're going to talk about that today as well. So let's get into that. Hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, and definitely become part of our community. We're really making changes in the Discord. Link is in the video description to join up. Get in while you can because things are going to be happening there, and you want to get in while the price is still not, really friendly. Only a cup of coffee a month, so get in there. Now, if you want to get our crypto strategy club, that's $35 a month. That's going to be awesome. And doing an update after this live stream in there as well. So that's going to be cool. And of course, if you want a one-on-one with me, a Superman in the house, then get that. That's only $99 for one session every month, 45 minutes. Talk about crypto, talk about personal finances, helping discuss some of the issues that you may be facing. So definitely get in there. But man, today, fantastic news. This is great news, and we're going to see interesting to see how the market prices that moving forward. But I think it's pretty good. So without further ado, let's get into it. Get into the chat as well and say hello. We've also got D-Hex in the house there. What's up, Hexagons, Pulsexagons, Hex Drone Hexagons is welcome. Oh, wow, that's quite the list there, D-Hex. You are truly maxi. So good to see you in the house there. You make Richard Hart proud, that's for sure. All right, so let's get into it without further ado. And we're going to check out some of the news that just dropped only like an hour or so ago. And it is Donald Trump signs executive order for strategic Bitcoin reserve. US President Donald Trump signed the executive order to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve and a digital asset stockpile. So he's crypto czar David Sachs. Woohoo! So pretty awesome stuff. US President Donald Trump has signed an executive order to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve and a digital asset stock. So his White House AI and crypto czar David Sachs. Just a few minutes ago, President Trump signed the executive order to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Sachs said in a March 7 X post, explained that the reserve would initially be funded with assets seized by the government. The reserve will be capitalized with Bitcoin owned by the federal government that was forfeited as part of criminal or civil asset forfeiture proceedings, he added. Additionally, the order also established a U.S. digital asset stockpile, which Sachs said consisted of digital assets other than forfeited Bitcoin. Now, we've got a little video here of Trump signing the executive order. So we're going to have a quick look at that too, without further ado, as we say. So let's hide some of these other things and let's get into it. Oh, I'm hiding that. There we go. We're going to hide that. We're going to hide that. And let's watch Donald Trump sign the executive order for the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. I think it's massive. Has the market mispriced it? We're going to have a look at that in a minute.
Today we're signing, this is very historic, an executive order establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve and digital asset stockpile. This is a promise that you made throughout the campaign, and today we're keeping that promise. The reserve will be capitalized with Bitcoin that the federal government already owns, so it won't cost taxpayers a dime. This is like a digital Fort Knox for digital gold. And premature sales of Bitcoin over the past years cost American taxpayers over $17 billion in lost value, because we didn't have a long-term strategy.
Right.
Now we do. So.
And this is something you believe in fully?
100%, yeah.
Okay.
And the whole community believes in it.
Very good. And I made the promise, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So there you have it, a Bitcoin strategic reserve from the President of the United States, from the Oval Office. This is kind of dream come true for Bitcoiners. And it's very good for the crypto as well. And with that stockpile, it's very good for the altcoins, Ethereum, Solana, ADA, XRP. And of course, this will flow into all the other cryptos as well. This is really huge. So, I guess the key point here is that this signals that it's time to get Bitcoin. It's time really to get this golden asset, because it's just going to keep going up over time. So this is, I think, where the market's misguided today. We're going to talk about that. The other thing, of course, Donald Trump keeping his promises again. A president actually keeping his promises. It's crazy. A politician, for that matter. This is really a different era, and Trump is bringing it really well. So pretty excited there. All right, so let's get back into it. We've got to talk about the rest of this. So let's go and get into the rest of the post here. So Bloomberg had earlier reported that Trump was expected to sign an executive order establishing a Bitcoin reserve during the White House Crypto Summit, which is tomorrow my time, but is the 7th for the United States, establishing a Bitcoin reserve during the White House Crypto Summit on March the 7th, with one option that included seeding it with government-seized crypto. Sachs said the Bitcoin reserve was a digital Fort Knox for cryptocurrency, and of course we know that Trump's going to go and audit the gold at Fort Knox, and of course they're going to do a big tour and everything there. I think it's going to be quite a cool thing to see, and it will probably be surprise people how influential that will be. And of course now there's a digital one, Bitcoin, as well. And the US wouldn't sell any Bitcoin in the reserve, and that's very important because now you've got that stuff. Instead of it being sold, it will now be held for a very, very long time, just like the gold in Fort Knox. So this is huge. That's another selling that's not going to be sold. Obviously, we know there's about 4 million Bitcoin out of the 19.5 million, I think it is at the moment. We know about 4 million has been lost. We know that 1 million sitting in Satoshi's wallet hasn't been moved. And so, yeah, it is really pretty exciting to see this now becoming kind of sunk, locked up Bitcoin as well, rather than being at the frivolous hands of another president, perhaps a Democrat one, who might just sell it, right? So very, very cool there. It will be kept as a store of value, he added. As for the digital asset stockpile, Sachs said its purpose is the responsible stewardship of the government's digital assets under the Treasury Department. So that's very exciting to see. I believe this is currently under the Federal Reserve, so it's going to move over to the Treasury Department. That's my understanding of what's happening here. Notably, he added that government wouldn't acquire additional assets for the stockpile beyond those through the forfeiture procedures. And this is what the market didn't like. But I think that they're undervaluing the fact that there's a Bitcoin strategic reserve for the United States. So I think that will actually dominate this aspect at the moment. Trump's earlier post on his Truth Social platform said the crypto reserve would include XRP, Solana, and Cardano. He later added Ether and Bitcoin would be the heart of the reserve. The US government is holding around $18 billion worth of seized crypto, with 198,000 Bitcoin at the moment. So worth almost $18 billion, making up the bulk of its holdings. So, and that's from Arkham Intelligence. However, Sachs claimed there had never been a complete audit of the government's crypto holdings. The Trump's latest order directs a full accounting of the federal government's digital asset holdings. So that's going to be pretty interesting. Obviously, people try and track these addresses, right? And that's been well known. Arkham's data shows the government's third largest holding, behind $122 million worth of Tether, is over $100 million of Ethereum. And according to Arkham, the US government does not hold XRP, Solana, or ADA. So that is where that's at the moment. So they're not going to get any direct benefit. So that was a big news, and I think very, very positive. But we're going to see how the crypto market actually, once this dump finishes, is going to go from there. But actually, a Bitcoin strategic Bitcoin rules, come on, that's fantastic news. And we'll see how that goes. Now, Bitcoin plunged 6% as Trump's crypto reserve falls short of hopes. Bitcoin price tumbled after US President Donald Trump made a pledge not to sell any of the government's current Bitcoin holdings, but made no firm commitment to buy more, and that was what disappointed the market. Bitcoin plunged approximately 6% after US President Donald Trump signed an executive order to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Market participants had hoped the government would announce a plan to buy more Bitcoin, but Trump's crypto czar David Sachs said on X it would only use the Bitcoin it already holds from criminal cases, though it will look at develop budget-neutral strategies to acquire additional Bitcoin. So this is what we'll be looking out for in the future from the federal government. All right, so a budget-neutral strategies to acquire additional Bitcoin. So people will be looking out for that, clues on that in the future. Bitcoin price slides after the announcement. You can see the big slide there. Bitcoin dropped 6%, falling from $90,400. And I was saying earlier today in our daily crypto stream how cool that was that we were over 90K. We went over 92K, which is the support level that we had previously. But now, we dropped back to 84, just under 85,000. Now, I'm glad to report we actually have bounced a little bit from there at the moment. So let's have a look at on the current Coinbase chart. This is the hourly chart, right? So you can see the news here. We've got getting up. We're at 91,285 on the hourly, and only a couple of hours ago, then we got sold off all the way back down to 84,600, and we have now bounced back at the moment at 87,200. So we're kind of almost back to 50% the way. So we'll see how we go with this trading moving forward. So that was how the market responded, and just because they didn't see enough buying coming in from the reserve as well, and they wanted to get that buy pressure, which would be insane. But as David Sachs said, the cryptos are, they will be looking to develop budget neutral strategies to acquire additional Bitcoin. So that could be, when that does come out, keep a lookout for that, because it's going to be pretty important. Now, it's not, the federal government setting up a strategic Bitcoin reserve is fantastic. And that is a supply sink. But also, we're going to have other people come in to get Bitcoin now. That is a Bitcoin strategic reserve. It sends a signal, right? Sends a signal that this is like gold. This is a big asset. And therefore, Bitcoin should start to converge to the gold market cap, right? So if the gold market cap is 10, 12 trillion, I can't remember what it is at the moment, somewhere up there, then, why not Bitcoin do a 5x, 6x, that's really, really important. So that is also coming up. So trading resource account, the Kabisi letter said the reason for the Bitcoin price drop was that there was no explanation on how the reserve will be funded aside from the Bitcoin already held by the US. But as I point out up the top here, David Sachs has put budget neutral strategies may require additional Bitcoin. And they may actually add to this as well in the future also. Ether, Solana, Ether, XRP, Solana, and Cardano also fell on the news after Sachs confirmed that there will be a US digital asset stockpile, but also only consists of digital assets forfeited by criminal or civil proceedings. And as we just read, it seems like only really Ethereum is sitting in there. And of course, looking at the broader market, we can see the broader market's down there. ETH is down 5.7% at 21.55. It's kind of at my support level. Solana there down 4.6%, $141. ADA down quite heavy, 10.5% at 85 cents. And XRP down 1.4%, not too bad. Of course, that has better mechanisms there to go down. So $2.48 at the moment. Actually, I was trying to refer to BNB. So XRP is down 1.4%, not so bad there at the moment on that. The government will not acquire additional assets for the stockpile beyond those obtained through the forfeiture proceedings, Sachs said in the first hour. In the first hour after Sachs' announcement, Ether had dropped all that amount as respectively. Industry participants see the positives. So while it may not be the most optimistic announcement for the industry, some were surprised that Bitcoin's price plunged after the announcement. Electric Capital CEO Arvikel said in an X post shortly after, "Who the hell sells the news of a US strategic Bitcoin reserve?" And that's true. A lot of people got shocked, but of course, a lot of people hadn't read it and stuff. But still, I think in an absolute terms, the US government now is a US strategic Bitcoin reserve. Come on, that's got to have some value, right? And for me, it's a signal to a lot of players to go in it, just like gold, and therefore it should re-rate like gold, right, over time. So we'll see what happens there. Walker America says the fact that this Trump Bitcoin strategic reserve EO is not pumping Bitcoin straight to $420,696 confirmed there has never been a greater risk adjustment time to buy Bitcoin. And of course, that price there, I believe, is pretty much close to the market cap of gold. I think that is the one there. Has never been a greater risk adjusted time to buy Bitcoin. 99% of people simply have no idea what is going on. This is your opportunity. And that's from Walker. And I would agree with Walker there. I think that's kind of insane. So we'll see what happens as well. But it's pretty crazy. We got Property View in the house. Hey, Property View. Great coverage. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And we've got Brendan in the house as well, our TA guru in the house there. Howdy, super. Let's go. And, of course, buy the rumor, sell the news. Apparently, that's what the market did on the fact that there wasn't initially buying. But, like I say, this is like a marker in the ground to say re-rate Bitcoin to gold market cap. That's what I see here. Brendan, let me know if you still got your mid-March takeoff for crypto, because I kind of feel like this feeds into that after this little sell-off, and we'll be back on. Now, I know there's contrarian views going down to 62,000, but yeah, I still see this going up to our 150 mark in maybe end of March, April. We could do some big days. We shall see as well. We're definitely expecting big money by Q2 of this year. So let's see where that all heads. All right, so we got echoing a similar sentiment. Synonymous crypto trader Ash Crypto said in an X post, "This is not buy the rumor, sell the news event. Every country will follow soon, and Bitcoin is going to 250. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I think is going to happen. And Brennan agrees. Here. He says, let's pull this up here. I've got to change the animation. I agree, and yes, still mid-March. Yeah, I agree. I think this is kind of a bear trap that's trying to bear people out here, claw them up and rip them to pieces, shred them, whatever. I know, shouldn't get too silly about that. Satoshi Action Fund CEO Dennis Porter added, "This market is way off. the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve will have additional Bitcoin acquisitions. Absolutely. Other participants agree that it's a positive step, will only bolster greater adoption of Bitcoin. Matt Hugan says impacts of the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve are as follows. Number one, dramatically reduces the likelihood of US government will someday ban Bitcoin. Absolutely. Number two, dramatically increases the likelihood that other nations will establish strategic Bitcoin reserves. 100%, and that's what I've been saying too. Number three, accelerates the speed at which other nations will consider establishing strategic Bitcoin reserves because it creates a short-term window for nations to front-run potential adding additional buying by the US. This is very important at this point because people are going to race to get the 21 million Bitcoin, right? Now, the last Bitcoin, of course, or at least bit of Bitcoin is not coming out to 2141, but most of it's coming out in the next few years that's left, right? So people got to get it while you can. And whoever owns Bitcoin this early is going to become super wealthy, right? So we'll see. And Michael Saylor, if you haven't seen Michael Saylor, he does a wonderful presentation about that. And of course, he wants the US to be first as well. Now, number four, makes it much harder for institutions from national account advisor platforms to quasi-government agencies like the IMF to position Bitcoin as somehow dangerous or inappropriate to hold. And that is very, very a big deal there. So this is great news all around. Great news all around. So be excited about that. That is so, so cool. Now, we're going to get into the next one, of course, is that we've got the White House Crypto Summit coming up tomorrow. So this is back-to-back good news. Confirmed attendees so far. Of course, I went through this earlier today in the live stream, but it's well worth recognizing this is going to be at the White House, and there's also going to have a reception afterwards. And of course, it's going to have a lot of big people there. I'm just going to summarize it rather than go through it like I did today. If you want to see the full walkthrough, I did check out the video earlier today. We got Michael Saylor, David Bailey. We got lots of the top people in this, especially centralized crypto. We got Brian Armstrong, Brad Garlinghouse here, Ripple, Coinbase, Robinhood, Kraken, all the CEOs there lined up. And of course, we're probably going to have a lot of these other ones possibly turn up. ARK CEO and founder Kathy Wood, Vitalik, of course, Ethereum. That'd be great to see him there. Charles Hoskinson, of course. I'll be surprised if he's not there. Cardano and other people like that. So, and also Solana and Ripple people. So, in terms of the White House, we got Bo Hines, David Sachs, of course, the crypto czar we've been talking about. Mark Yoyida there, and Caroline Pham there from the SEC and the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. We're probably going to have at least, I would say, good chance we'll have Howard Lutnick there, the Commerce Secretary, maybe the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, and possibly Pam Bondi, the U.S. Attorney General as well. So that could be pretty exciting. Now, what I suspect is that we will probably get we could get some more news potentially around a no tax on crypto, and that's a massive catalyst. So if that does come out during that, that'd be very interesting to see. I don't know if that requires an executive order or not, but probably does. That would be very exciting. So we shall see what happens there. And that was a rumor that came out on Telegram from Eric Trump, Donald Trump's son. And of course, he's full on in crypto. So that could be pretty cool. So we are excited about where this is all going to head as well. So kind of cool. All right, so that is kind of the bullish news that came out of there. Not only do we have that coming up tomorrow, so we'll be able to talk about that event. There'll be lots of social media around that, and we may get some more news around crypto, particularly around maybe no tax on crypto. That could be coming up tomorrow, if not afterwards. Texas surges in U.S. states, and of course, race to put public funds into crypto. So already, like I say, we've now got a strategic Bitcoin reserve in the United States. Now all the states are all trying to jump on the bandwagon. And of course, they're racing to get their bills through to spend some of their money on buying Bitcoin for their own reserves. This is huge. So Texas and New Hampshire are advancing bills to invest public funds in Bitcoin following momentum from President Trump push for the U.S. crypto reserve. Utah is one vote away from passing a similar measure, but time is running out before the state's legislative session expires this week. This comes after Trump planned to hold multiple cryptocurrencies in the Federal Reserve, has drawn criticism. As industry leaders argue Bitcoin is the only asset comparable to gold. And that's what I'm saying about the market rate. That should get us somewhere between 400K and maybe 600K per Bitcoin. So that could be pretty huge. And I know there are people out there talking about $1 million, $2 million, $3 million Bitcoin as well. So that probably a bit further in the future, but definitely looks like it's just going to go only up and up. Texas Senator Charles Schwartner here says Bitcoin has proven itself through multiple boom and bust cycles. and of course making it a great reserve asset in times of devastating national deficit, which you guys know is $2 trillion at the moment, and of course inflation and uncertainty out there as well. So pretty cool, and they're all progressing pretty fast. So going to be exciting there. Now, just one example of how much money, 5% of certain public accounts in a digital asset with more than 500 billion in assets. So we're looking at some big money potentially coming from these states. It could be very exciting to see that as well. So bring it on. That's all I can say. Bring it on. So some pretty exciting things happening there with the crypto, as you guys can see. Very exciting to see. In fact, we're going to have a quick look at CoinGecko, and have a look at the supply of Bitcoin now. Let's go do that. Let me just pull this up here. Don't forget to get in the chat as well. Let your thoughts be known about this Bitcoin strategic reserve. Let us know what you think about it. I think it's pretty exciting. So let's have a look here. Let's going to pull up this chart here. And actually, we might go to a different view. Let's go to this view here. Yeah, that works fine. So this is the Bitcoin price here on CoinGecko, and you can see actually I said 9.5 million, but we're actually closer to 19. We're at 19,933,000 Bitcoin at the moment on circulating supply. That is really big deal there. So remember, there's only going to be ever 21 million, so we've got just under 1.2 million to come out. Yeah, huge. So if you got one Bitcoin, great. People are going to be talking about having 0.1 Bitcoin, right? You've only got a tenth of a Bitcoin. That's a great amount. So yeah, definitely worth checking that out. Now, if you guys remember, do you guys remember the pizza? The guy that bought the pizza, he bought the pizza back, was it 2013? I think it was, with what, 10,000 Bitcoin. 10,000 Bitcoin. That is crazy, right? That is crazy amount. 10,000 Bitcoin, and that is now worth it's worth 869 million US dollars. And of course, when Bitcoin was at 100,000, it was worth $1 billion. So crazy stuff, right? So pretty crazy as well. Hopefully, I'm doing my maths right there. It was pretty crazy numbers, right? So insane. Just crazy numbers for sure. Just make sure I've got my maths right there. I think that's right. You can double check my math, but I think that is correct. Let me just double check it myself. I hate it when I'm wrong about math here. So let's do that. That's why you don't do it generally when you're live streaming. Let me see now. Yeah, I got it right. Okay, 860 million. I just for some reason had a doubt in my mind there, but that is correct. So yeah, it's that Bitcoin pizza. That pizza that he paid for Bitcoin, 10,000 Bitcoin, is worth 860 million US dollars. What? Now, he thought it was cool and funny at the time, and it was cool, and it's part of the folklore of Bitcoin. But man, $860 million pizza, and of course at 108,000 US dollars, where we got up to, that's over $1 billion pizza, right? $1.08 billion pizza. That's crazy. So next time you think about paying, $30 for a pizza, just remember some guy paid $1.08 billion for a pizza. Actually, I think there were like 3 pizzas, but still, it's pretty bad indeed. Let me know in the chat there if you guys remember the guy's name. I just forgotten off the top of my head, but definitely check that out. It was pretty funny. So I reckon that's huge news. Strategic Bitcoin reserve for crypto. Crypto's established now, man. It's established, and now it can just head towards the gold market cap, right? Which is crazy. Let's go have a look at the gold market cap. Actually, let's find that too. Let's go find the gold market cap. Gold market cap there. Let's just find that. Gold market cap about $18 trillion. Oh my goodness, really? That is crazy. So 18 trillion. We're at 1.7 on Bitcoin. So that's pretty crazy. Let me just have a look at market cap of gold. I'm going to get the exact number. They estimate it's at 19.55 trillion. So let's use that number. That's not kind of cool. So 19.55, and let's divide that by 1.7. Let's just round the numbers. That means 11.5x from here. Let's multiply that by the Bitcoin price, which is 87,000. So 11.5 times that times 87, and that would get us to a market cap of oh my god, I'd guess a market cap of did I do that right? Let me do that again. 0.5 times what do we say? 87. Yeah. That would get us to a market cap. Oh no, Yeah, market cap of $1 million. $1 million exactly. $1 million exactly to get to the gold market cap right now. $1 million for Bitcoin. That is a convergence from Bitcoin to gold. Isn't that crazy? That is insane. So that's the potentiality now. And we know that we looked at that multiplier from the Bitcoin buyers with a projection, which I actually got. Let's pull that up because fortunately I gave that to Brian. Brian asked it for me, so I gave it to Brian, and that's also got a cool prediction there. So it looks like we could go to some pretty big heights there. Let's pull that up too. Let me just close out of here. I'm in all sorts of things at the moment. Brennan says, did you also hear today, Super, that US officials acknowledge what Chinese ships are doing around Australia and New Zealand, and they're keeping close surveillance on the situation? That's somewhat good news, says Brennan. Yeah, that is very good news. Yeah. Up to no good, aren't they? Up to no good. They'll need more than ships, though, Brian. They'll need logistic ships actually if they want to do an invasion. Invasion. All right, so that's a side topic, but anyway, let's move back to our view, and we're going to check out the US crypto impact. So I just did a quick math there to gold market cap. Let's say it's at 9.5 trillion. We're 1.7 trillion Bitcoin. Of course, that would get us to 11.5x. That would get us to $1 million Bitcoin as the price target for the law of convergence, right? If Bitcoin is the digital gold, makes a lot of sense, right? So that just gets us to $1 million right there. US crypto reserve could boost Bitcoin market cap by 460 billion. Of course, I read this out during today's one as well, but if you missed it, creating a strategic crypto reserve could boost Bitcoin's market cap to roughly 25% to approximately 460 billion, according to the analysis there from Signum Bank. Because the liquid supply of Bitcoin is very small. Like I said to you, we've got this amount of circulating supply of 90.8 million, but we know 4 million's lost, approximately maybe even 4.5 million. We know that a million's in the Satoshi wallet. So really, you're only walking around with just under 15 million at the moment. So there is pretty scarce there. Of course, any federal or state government Bitcoin buying would likely to trigger another wave. Now, we already saw Sachs talking about doing some budget neutral potential to buy Bitcoin, but we just read all those arguments about at least something like 12 different states in the US already at the moment are rushing through to be able to allocate part of their budget into getting into buying Bitcoin as a digital gold. That's huge. So it's likely to trigger another wave allocation of institutional investors as well. So in addition to the states are doing it, then everyone's going to be rushing, right? And so you're going to have the institutionals coming in as well. And these are the big retirement funds and stuff like that coming in as well. So now that we've got this strategic reserve, this sell-off today, this short sell-off is really misgiving. But this is what happens, in the markets. It's just the way it goes. So institutional capital flows are already exerting a multiplier effect, and that's what we're getting because there's such scarcity. Multiplier effect can be start pretty quickly. And Bitcoin spot price with every $1 billion worth of net inflows into spot exchange traded funds driving approximately 3 to 6 price movement. And look what we've come from. We've come from about $40 million back in January the 10th when the Bitcoin ETF started. And now we've got accumulated inflows there up at $95 billion. And at the moment, we're starting to get like a 3 to 6 price movement on that. So you can see we're just at the beginning of this too. And of course, things could really start running away. So it's really, really powerful. You've got to be pretty bullish. Obviously, there's dips in the game, but got to be pretty bullish about this. We've had the Holy Grail. Think about it. We've had the ETFs. We had the Ethereum ETFs. We've now got a Bitcoin strategic reserve. I mean, this is the Holy Grail of crypto. This is where crypto wanted to always be. This was the vision. Man, imagine if we get mass adoption. Well, it starts with the sovereign, federal, and state, as well as the institutions are all there now. Every player is on the field, and they can all play now. And the game has only just begun. That's beautiful. I wish I could do a video like that. That'd be pretty neat. So kind of cool. That is very exciting there. And we can see the US state Bitcoin and digital reserve assets there across the different states. Pretty powerful. And of course, you can see that in the chart here. Pretty crazy stuff there at the moment. Let me just get out of there because it's a bit too big. So we've got potential investment there, 10%, and they got the sources in here as well. So that's pretty awesome. Estimated Bitcoin there. Looks like Oklahoma's got 15,000 at the moment. Looks like Missouri's got 17,000. New Mexico's at 21,000, South Dakota 17,000, North Carolina 27,000. So all up, they've got 212,000 Bitcoin at the moment, worth $23.5 billion. And this could only be the beginning, right? Could only be the beginning. So pretty cool. Most of them are sitting in reserves, a few of them in pension combinations as well. And nice. And of course, they've all got their bills running through the house there. Look at those bills and the funding sources as well. State General Fund. They've got lots of those, a lot of general fund and permanent Wyoming Mineral Trust. So they've got lots of different varieties of investment vehicles there at the state level, and estimated funding source. That's how much potential investment. That's the percentages. And so there could be another 242,000 Bitcoin demand there. That's going to be very, very big deal. And of course, they're going to have to buy a lot of that off the retail book, right? That's going to buy a lot of the retail book there. So crazy stuff, right? That is huge. So looking very, very good there. Now, if you want to get a link to this to look at that table in depth, I'll post a link in the chat there so you can check it out. But that is pretty huge, right? And this is incoming demand. So bring it on, as we say. Oh, that is the link there. Bam. All right. So yeah, pretty huge. And that is sourced from State Bitcoin Reserves Bill, of course, from Van Eyck there. Very, very exciting. The market currently rates the probability of national Bitcoin stockpile relatively low, but of course, it just happened. Any positive surprise would be bullish for the Bitcoin price, including maybe tomorrow we have that we get no tax on crypto, like Eric indicated on the Telegram. The level of support coming from administration is bullish for sure, but calling it a strategic reserve has created a lot of confusion, and we don't have the confusion now. Pretty clear. With the inclusion of the other tokens, I think we're talking about proposed direct investment by the US government and industry. And of course, at the moment, that is limited to any neutral budget buying of Bitcoin. So it's something we'll keep looking out for in the future as well as no taxes on tariffs. No taxes on crypto or Bitcoin in this case. So yeah, that's $23.5 billion of buying there, and of course we get a 3 to 5% uplift from there. And that's going to go up at a faster rate, right? So that's huge. Just that alone. Just to do some flat math, just to do it easy. That is, let's do 4% on the high side, right? That would give us that's a 2x minimum, a 2x of Bitcoin minimum. That gets us to where I said 150 to 180. And that doesn't include institutional buying. So you see what I mean? This game is on. The game is on. The players are on the field, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Brennan says big pump if no tax on crypto is in America is announced. Yeah. So we'll see what comes out of tomorrow. Could be another EO executive order. Could be something else. I don't know exactly the vehicle that they need to do that. I think it would be an executive order. Because remember, in the US, the Congress decides the budget, right? But the president has a lot of power over a lot of the federal government itself. So the differential, he can, like, why they make the budget, and he can sort of decide what he wants to spend on to some degree, although that's being challenged in the courts, illegitimately at the moment. Kind of cool. All right, so that is where we're heading. Pretty bullish news, man. Pretty bullish news, I would say. Hope you guys have enjoyed that coverage. It's pretty concise coverage today, despite a few of my little stutters. It was pretty good. So at the moment, we've got Bitcoin at 87,000. Let's see where it goes overnight and over the weekend. Is the market going to realize what's really going on? Just like some of those analysts said, these people are crazy. Why are they selling off? This is huge news. So we'll see where it goes. Are you a bear or bull? Because we are in the bull cycle, in my view, and we're waiting for the big run yet to come. Now, obviously, one of the other things, if Bitcoin does stabilize for a little bit, it does give altcoins a little bit of breather to move. So we might see that as well. Let's see how we go. And, that said, XRP is still up 19% for the week. And so despite being down just a little bit today, it's still actually up 19%. So XRP performing pretty well. Cardano even being down 11%. Last 24 hours is actually up 39% for the week. So it's still a pretty bullish environment. Chainlink's up 15%, being down 6% last 24 hours. Hydra there. So there's still some pretty good results going on in the marketplace, and that holds up. That bodes well for the future. I'm pretty excited. So tomorrow we'll see what happens with the White House crypto conference. It will be fun to see, or crypto summit as they call it, and we'll see how we get on there. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. Lots of cool stuff in there. If you haven't joined our strategy club, get a join. The link's in the video description. Only $35 a month for lots of alpha content. And we've got a great bunch of really smart crypto people in there as well, like Brennan, who's our TA guru. Get in there. The link's in the description. Join up today. And of course, if you want to join our Discord, get in there early as well, because it's only $5 a month to join that. If you do join Strategy Club, that you automatically get access to the Discord. So that's $5 of value in there. So that only makes the Strategy Club $30 if you include that. If you want to get one-on-one, talk about crypto or personal finance or anything like that, get in there. I've got a special offering now of $99 for a 45-minute session every month. You can join up to that too. And finally, we've got a big product I'm building at the moment. We'll be promoting that, and that's going to be a lot of fun, and expecting some good things there as well. Particularly if you are loving crypto and you want to make mad gains, definitely join up for that. Now, we take a more of an investor view on the channel. Some people like the speculative aspect of crypto. I take more of an investor view. Sometimes you have to hold through up and down. Sometimes, just remember that. So as opposed to a trader's view, I hold more of an investor view to crypto. Brennan says, cheers, super, join the crew. Yeah, join the Strategy Club today. Links in the video description. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you on the next show. Take care, everybody, and bye for now. Have a good day. Woohoo! It's strategic crypto Bitcoin reserve. It's so good.